It's here! Igloo Ice Cream Fruit Bars. 4 mouth-watering flavors. Mango, pineapple, strawberry, and soursop. A beautiful combination of real fruit and igloo ice cream. Go old school with fluty popsicle. Classic flavors and refreshing goodness. Available at Igloo outlets and all your favorite shops. You don't leave anything to chance. Every day you click it, lock it, and mask up. Now press, rub, and wash with Sterling Super Soap. Our antibacterial formula eliminates 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. Clean and moisturize your hands with 4 refreshing and rejuvenating fragrances. Get super clean with Sterling Super Soap.
Dave's West Indian Imports is a wholesaler of all types of seafood with their own processing plant. Dave supplies supermarkets, restaurants, hotels, and bars. Place your orders now on telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. With fresh seafood daily, Dave's offers custom cuts of your choice: snapper, trout, banger, gillback, shrimp, crab, and more. Order today. Dave's, Guyana's largest exporter to the USA.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Bend Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Yeah, good evening and welcome to another program of the Sean Devers Sports Watch. It's Tuesday, April 21, still in the year 2026. And I'm welcoming you to another program of the Sean Devers Sports Watch. In this program, we talk about cricket with veteran commentator out of St. Lucia, Guyanese-born Joseph Reds Pereira. And also we have live on the panel. We have on the panel the Jamaican. He's doing commentary in the Jamaica-Barbados game, Julian Jr. Corden, and of course, Basil Butcher Jr. He will join us at around 8 o'clock. This program comes to you with the compliments of Dave's West Indian Imports, KFC, Nomalco, Builders Lumberyard, Sterling Products Limited, and Survival Supermarket. Good night, everyone. First, let's tell you a quick roundup of what's going on in the regional bilateral cricket series. One team playing each other 3 times in 2 countries. So we've got the news of the third day's play. Guyana already wrapping up their match. They beat the Windward Islands by an innings on 142 runs. Windward Islands made 151 with Niall Smith getting 5 for 36 and Guyana replying with 491 and Nandu getting 56, Paul getting 56, Savory getting 79 and Pomal getting 82. And Niall Smith batted down the order and got into the 40s. He batted really well. And so we had a situation where Windward Islands began their second inning. They bowled out for 199 with Augustine making 91. And Moti had a 5-wicket haul in the first match, had another 5-wicket haul. He picked up 5 for 51. And bad news in Antigua. Again, that match was played at the ARG, the Antigua Recreation Ground, fondly called the Antigua Records Ground because of the number of West Indian records made there. It's good to see them back in regional cricket, the ARG. At Sabina Park, Jamaica made 457, with Mackenzie getting 114 and Campbell getting 96. Barbados 460 for 5. Former West Indies captain Craig Braffett 176 and Wickham 105. And of course, Cordell will tell us a little bit more about that match. Of course, in the match at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, the match between Leewards and Trinidad, that match was abundant on the third day, with both teams getting the points they gained up to that point. Of course, Windwards, Trinidad and Tobago got the first innings lead. Leewards were bowled out for 131, with Anderson Phillips getting 6 for 33. Trinidad, in response, bowled out for 175, with Pittman getting 6 for 52. And then in the second innings, the Leewards 140 for 7, with Jaden Seals getting all 7 wickets to fall. He ended with 7 for 42. So good night to you guys. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I had a pretty long flight back from Guyana, but I'm happy to be on tonight, and happy to be spending a week in Guyana. I'm fine.
And I know you had a lot of appointments and so on in Guyana. Your story should be in tomorrow's Chronicle.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Well, yes, you're referring to the meeting with the director
of tourism. Yeah.
Yes, fine. Yeah, that was a nice meeting. I had a TV interview where I shared a pilot program, but due to travel commitments and other things, I wasn't able to meet with the Sports Commission, but I hope to send the relevant information. It's a pilot project where we want to use the parade ground, which was historically used for encampment of slaves, where we played our first match against Barbados with first class and won. Where I think initially GCC was given that piece of land before they got border.
Yeah, GCC used to be there, and that game was in 1865. The second first class match. The first was played
and
at the
basically the pilot project I'm hoping to present to the Sports Commission is to get the young people who are on the blocks and the bridges between 17 and let's say 24 involved in games, track and field, rugby, basketball, volleyball, cricket, hockey, discus throwing, tug of war, and a number of events, boxing exhibitions, and pad work with the coaches. It has to be backed by, of course, the National Sports Commission and the associations themselves. They have to provide maybe some of the coaches. 2 hotels to be approached for providing a lunch snack on Monday and Thursday, and a water sponsor, many tents to provide the registration of the many people who we hope will come, and will in fact go into a database that we could provide to the various relevant ministries. So if they want to have further training in carpentry, in agriculture, in whatever field, in electrician, the young people will have a database which they can be involved in. But I know this is a cricket program and a Red Spur show. But very disappointing what you read out, where Jeremy got hit it was a bit of a fly. I mean, I saw the video, and I'm glad that from all reports he's resting well in hospital.
Yeah.
But the pitch was determined unplayable, dangerous. And Sean, you know, I mean, these fixtures was announced long time ago, and I'm surprised that Antigua, who normally prepares good batting wickets, produced what we read about.
And that was at the international grounds of Vivian Richards Stadium. It wasn't at the ARG or police or any of the other grounds. So we go now to Jamaica. Junior, how do you pronounce your last name? Codlin? Junior?
Junior Codlin.
Oh.
Junior Codlin.
Yes.
Codlin.
Codlin. All right, Junior. You've got an academy similar to what Reds is planning to do with the parade ground, but your own is exclusively for cricket. Tell us first about today, the third day, and the match in Jamaica. A lot of centuries scored there, almost 4.
Absolutely. Good evening to yourself. Good evening to all your viewers, and good evening to Mr. Reds Pereira. It's been a very long time I've been listening and growing up, following himself and the great late Tony Cozier, and they would have guided me with their wonderful commentary.
Most of the young West Indian commentators as Reds and Tony as mentors. Go on.
Yes, absolutely. So it's an honor to be on your show with the great man, still alive and still doing well. As we look to the game here in Jamaica with the Barbadians, it's a flat wicket up at Sabina Park, and it's a wicket that tailored to runs making. It's a wicket that a lot of football and events have been playing on the field there at Sabina Park lately. So it's no longer a balance between the bat and the ball as it regards to the old Sabina Park wickets that we used to get back in the days. And Jamaica batting first, very good partnership again between John Campbell and Kirk Mackenzie, and then good partnership between Shane Mosley and former West Indies captain Craig Brathwaite. We have seen from both of the teams that their bowling is pretty wayward. We have bowlers on both teams that are not bowling with any plan or with any clear clarity. And on a docile pitch, if you don't keep your focus on your line and length and the way you line up batsmen in a consistent way, then runs will be had. And because our bowlers not able to maintain discipline within their bowling, it is the reason why the batters were able to score and to score that high volume of runs that we're presently seeing now.
Sean, I got a question.
It looked like it's going to be a draw.
Right. How's the weather? The weather's been pretty bad. Is there any indication that the Barbados and Jamaica might have better weather?
Yes. The weather here in Jamaica tends to start to fall around 1 o'clock local time, 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock local time. And so they are going to be able to start in the morning and have play right up until after lunch, close to tea. And that should strengthen the point which I made earlier, that this game might be heading to a draw.
And that's the
Right,
only
yeah.
game that's going into the third day. The other one has been abandoned. Well, the fourth day, the other one has been abandoned on the third day. And Ghana has beaten the Windwards by innings and 141 runs to keep their
Yes.
unbeaten streak on the third day. So this game would go into the fourth day. And something to note, those matches in Antigua were bowler dominated. The one in Jamaica is being dominated by the batters. As you said, the pitch
Yes,
is plus
and
one.
absolutely. And one should remember that back in 2009, when England toured the Caribbean here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, the last time that international test cricket would have been played at the ARG would have been that time, because if you would remember that the very first day of the test match, the pitch was rendered unsafe and they had to quickly move the equipments and everything to the ARG. And that's where the final and only test match would have played. So it's not the first time that they're having problems at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium there in North Sound.
Yeah, so let's look now at why the batting is so good in Jamaica. I remember that when cricket returned to Jamaica last year, I was there doing commentary in the first class tournament when Guyana played Jamaica. The pitch was not like when I first played there at youth cricket level. That's way back in 1987. The pitch was like a mirror. It was so flat and bouncy and like a mirror when you look in it. But why do you think the conditions, first of all, is the conditions different to the first match?
Well, the first match was played at Chedwin Park, that is there in St. Catherine. The conditions for Sabina Park, one of the things that is contributing to the docile pitch is that these pitch doctors are no longer studying the art of preparing pitch here in the Caribbean. And one of the reasons for this is that the compensation is very little. And when they are compensated, it takes a very long time for them to get this. So Cricket West Indies and the local boards will have to look into this. Let me tell you, they say encouragement sweet labor. And these groundsmen and pitch doctors have to be taken care of. They have to be looked on as valuable contributors to our cricket and be treated as such. And in the absence of that, a man would just turn up a week and he's preparing the pitch, but he's doing it half-heartedly because he's not being compensated the way that he should. Because and with those things lingering within his mind, it takes away from the true nature of preparing a good cricket wicket for you to get good cricket.
Yeah,
Sean, a question?
Rex Barrera in your island, possibly the best curator, Alton Crafton. Is he still going around the region unless it's international cricket?
Well, I don't know if he's involved this year. You know, normally when the international series is on, CPL and everything, he moves around. But things are very tight financially, so I am not too sure if they are relying on local ground staff. I can find out and let you know. I can give you a call tomorrow. I'll call Crafton and see if he's here. But I would just like to go back to my young Jamaican brother, and you will know that Jamaica's produced some outstanding commentators in the Crosskill brothers, Jackie Henricks, etc., Michael Holding, and I can go on to talk about a number of others. Wickham has had 300s. He's been obviously batting well. Have you been very impressed with his technique?
Kevin Wickham, absolutely. He has when he first came to Jamaica and played his first game at Chedwin Park, he got a massive 100. Wasn't against Jamaica. I think it was they playing one of the combined campus and college team. And he returned 2 years after, and he got a massive 100 again on the same field against good quality Jamaican bowling on that day. You know, I was live and direct to see him score that 100. He came in at a time for Barbados when they were in trouble. They were in troubled waters at the time, and he and Kyle Mears stitched together a partnership, guided Barbados out of troubled water. Then he attacked the spinners. He attacked the leg spinner. He attacked the off spinner, and he do it with good foot movements. So I'm very impressed by Kevin and his ability to score, his temperament. He can switch gears and get back into his shell whenever it's needed. And I think he's one that should be nurtured, and he's one that should be given an opportunity to continue to grow and also to excel for us at the senior level.
Yeah, I want to
Let's
say,
now move to.
I want to
Let's
say
now
good
move.
evening to everybody listening and watching the program. It's nice to see Masood going with Nafico joining the sponsorship for the coming on board with the Ghana Global Cricket League. They've got already the Exxon Mobil, so it's not like rocket science to go and get good sponsors. The West Indies, Cricket West Indies on the other hand, seems to be having a problem with doing that. I want to say good night to everybody. Vinud Mancham, he's got the rights. And good night to you, Vinud. I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. But we go for a first commercial break, and then we come back and we'll continue with Red's discussion.
Sundays are for KFC Sunday Special Bucket Deal. Buy a 6 or 9-piece bucket meal and get an extra piece of crispy, juicy chicken. Or go big with a 15 or 20-piece bucket meal and get 2 extra pieces. That's even more of your KFC favorites to share. So gather the family, call your friends, and make it a Sunday feast like no other. Only at KFC, where Sundays are made tastier. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Surprise your family today with a nice vanilla-flavored cake made with Maid Marian cake flour. It's perfect for the birthday, anniversary, special occasion, or just celebrating the joy of having your family together. So get a pack or two of Maid Marian cake flour to make that moist, fluffy, vanilla-flavored sponge cake, donut-shaped cakes, Swiss rolls, and other delicious baked goods. Bring on the smiles with Maid Marian cake flour. Made and packaged not by hand by Nomilco, the National Milling Company of Guyana.
National Milling Company of Guyana.
For more than 3 decades, Dave's West Indian Imports has been supplying the demands of Guyanese living in the USA with their favorite Guyanese products. Pomeroon coconut water, fresh fish, shrimp and crab, champion chow mein, icy sodas, golden cream margarine, wiri wiri pepper, katahar and calves rib, just to name a few. If you have family from Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, Dave's has them covered too. 9807 97th Avenue, Ozone Park, New York, only 5 minutes away from Liberty Avenue. 11808 Liberty Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York. 7505 New Hampshire Avenue, Tacoma Park, Maryland. The Caribbean market. Dave's West Indian Imports, supplying the best of the Caribbean to the USA.
Igloo sugar-free ice cream. Sugar-free ice cream.
Impossible that you're singing about ice cream without added sugar right now. I mean, how's that going to taste?
It's the best, most delicious I've ever tasted. The premium French vanilla flavor is so rich and velvety. Plus, my gym instructor approves. It's great for my weight loss.
So it's really delicious? Like you aren't kidding me? The children! No added sugar could be healthier for them. And Grandpa Glenn, with his diabetic condition. You mean he could finally enjoy desserts after all these years? I have to go. I have to get this.
Grab Igloo's sugar-free ice cream before she does.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Yeah, well, welcome back to the Sean Dever Sports Watch. Just about 7 minutes getting up to the hour of 8 o'clock here in Georgetown, Guyana. And we continue with the discussion. Red Pereira, you are going to make a point?
Yes, well, we're talking about Wickham, and our Jamaican commentator who would have seen Mackenzie, who's really, being a breath of fresh air. Has he been working on his game? Does he look a lot more sort of discipline? Previously, he was a shot maker. He would get 30s and 40s and then get out. But he seems to be batting long, sir.
Absolutely. I think Kirk McKenzie has finally matured into a batter now. When he first came onto the scene, I think he was rushing to a West Indies team and he did not get the time to develop his craft at the 4-day level, and literally had to go on the international scene and learn his craft. Now, I think he dropped from the team, he went away, did some remedial work on his batting, and now we're seeing runs from him. What will happen though is that we have to look now to the final innings of the Jamaican, maybe at some point tomorrow if the rain holds. And then we will have to look the other week for him. And then from those 2 innings, we will know if truly he is back to where he was. One should not forget that the former opening batter for West Indies, Devon Simmet, used to excel at the regional level. But when he gets to the international stage, runs did not come from him. So West Indies selectors can't make the same mistake this time around. They need to give a fair enough chance to these batters to see them for a while, and then they can think about rewarding them at a higher level.
Yeah, the same thing happened last year with Mikel Louis.
Didn't hear that.
I said the same thing happened last year with Mikel Louis when he had a tremendous first-class season, got 200s the previous year against Guyana in one match, and then put to the West Indies at the high level and never really produced the runs that his talent suggested he could. Reds.
Yes, but time for you to tell us about the Guyana performance so far. They won handsomely today, and the batting has been really producing, and maybe the big surprise has been the batting of Savory. I mean, he's been solid, Sean, but you can look at the overall batting.
Yes, Savory has been solid, but the tailenders, well, they don't have any tailenders now. The low order batters, they propped up. They got 40s. Even Pomal got 80. He never got 100. His highest first class score is 90. He would have been looking for 100 today, but unfortunately Smith got out. But all these, and I was very impressed with the technique shown by Smith, because when you look at Smith in the past, he's a walking wicket. And this year, I was very surprised. He looked an accomplished batsman. All of the batters batted well. Chandrapal, though, needs to get more rotation of the strike, less dot balls. You can't batting for nearly 200 balls and get out for third or four. His father used to bat long, but his father used to get big scores. When you get 50, convert it into 100. Chandrapal has to start doing that. In the first match, he got 77. But since then, he's got to learn to be more intent, bat with more intent. That's the only problem for me.
What about the other batting lineup? You have Timo Paul, who looks a different player this year, bowling well, batting well.
Yeah, he looks confident. Nandu got a 50. And his 50, he's usually a batter similar to Chandrapal, but in this game, he batted positively and got 54. But we still need to see batters from Guyana going on to get hundreds. The last time 3 batters got hundreds together was since 1998, when Chandrapal, Hooper and Lambert got hundreds against Trinidad at Lenora. But since then, no Guyanese batters have gotten 300s in one innings as yet. And the problem is none of them have gotten hundreds so far in this tournament.
Yeah, but you're talking about Smith's batting. I think we're more interested in his bowling, because well. He's really been outstanding.
Yes, all the bowlers have bowled well.
I heard from John Maynard today. Mm-hmm. He said that he's been very impressed with Smith. He says Smith was knocking 3 or 4 years ago, but he's bowling brilliantly, lovely, good control, taking wickets.
Yeah, and he had a groin injury, which he seemed fully recovered from now. And even Shamar Joseph, who's been with Cotton Wool, he's been in Cotton Wool, and he's now playing his first match, and he bowled with good pace too, got 2 wickets.
Is he likely to play the next game? I know the West Indies board is asking these players to be rested. Is he due to play?
Yes, because he missed the first one, so he probably and he has an extra day to recover, because this match finished today. So I'm not sure, but it's almost likely that he'll play again in the next
I got
match.
a call about Pittman.
Yeah.
I understand that Pittman has been really outstanding, really running in. He looks a different fast bowler, nice action, good control. Picked up a lot of wickets so far.
Yeah, and Jaden Searles has gotten 7 wickets. All the wickets he's gotten in the second innings. Leeward Islands 140 for 7. He's gotten all the wickets. So our fast bowlers seem to be doing well. And the batters, as Junior said in Jamaica, seem to be doing well also. But as he said, you can't rush these players into international cricket who are just doing well. You've got to do it consistently over at least 2 seasons. I agree with him.
Well, I expect, Sean, that Wickham will be, if they pick 13 against Pakistan, he will be in, because he didn't start last year. Wickham has been around quite a few years, and he's really finally blossomed. It's going to be interesting to see what the lineup would be. And it puts Anderson in a fair amount of pressure. Anderson has got to start putting scores on the board.
Yes, Kevlin Anderson batted well for 41, and that's my point. They can't be batting as you play Test cricket and you get 4-1. You got to go on to make hundreds, even if you make big 50s. But the batters, Ghana got a big score because most of the 5 or 6 batters got half centuries, and some got 4-1. Smith got runs, and so on. But you can't be depending on that if you want your individual performance to be recognized. Ghana continues to do well at the regional first class level, winning 5 titles and so. But you don't see the corresponding results in the West Indies team.
Interesting discussion. Tony McQuarrie wrote a very good article, which probably we can share with our Jamaican brother.
And we see Basil Butchers joined us now. Good night to you, Basil.
Good night, Sean. Good night to your viewers and your listeners, and good night to the panel.
Yeah, continue, Reds.
I was saying, Tony McQuarrie just wrote a piece on the format, and he was saying that if they had used their imagination, they could have had a much better format, mixing the teams against each other. I don't know. Basil, did you read what article?
No, but I don't like that mixing of teams. That Headley Weeks thing to me was a joke. The intensity of the cricket was an absolute joke.
No, I'm not talking about that kind of
mixing. About that. He's talking about the teams playing each other. Like first time when the fixtures come out, all the teams were supposed to be playing in Antigua. And you're just playing one team. Even if you play one team once, and then you play another team once, and you play 5 matches, that would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, that was supposed to be the initial plan, was that all 6 teams
would be in Antigua.
All 6 teams would have been in Antigua, and they would have been using the 3 facilities for each round, right? So that could have facilitated you playing, because since everybody would have been in Antigua, it could have facilitated you playing not the same opponent each round.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I would have preferred something more like that, because I could tell you, that pitch they played in Jamaica, if I was a bowler, I would go on strike. Because, I mean, they just have made it so easy for the batters. I mean, all due respect, well done to young Wickham, but I can't read nothing from those performances in terms of elevating young Wickham to the next level, what I saw in Jamaica.
And
right?
Junior, congratulations to you. I see you've gotten back international cricket. The 4 matches will be played in Jamaica, then they go to Antigua, and then afterwards they go to Trinidad. I think the 2 test matches will be played there. New Zealand comes to Guyana. So Jamaica is back in the fray. They would obviously be playing at Sabina Park. Do you think that's a good pitch for international cricket?
The Jamaican public and Sabina Park would have been starved of cricket when Jamaica had the last administration of Dr. Billy Haven, because he was not a supporter of the current and present West Indies administration. And since a change of administration and Dr. Bennett came in, cricket has slowly returned to Sabina Park, and we are grateful for that. As I would have alluded to earlier, if the groundsmen are compensated the way they should, then I believe that they are able and capable of providing better cricket wicket for better cricket. And in the absence of that, you will continue to have these docile pitches. Now, you have a dedicated stadium here in Jamaica for cricket. You have a dedicated stadium for football. My question really is, why so much football is being played at Sabina Park? And that is ruining the pitch. Now, we're going to have 6 games, 3 T20s and 3 ODIs against the visiting Sri Lankans come in June. Then they move over to Antigua for the test matches. And the other islands will get the other tours once they come. Now, Jamaica is due to host India as well in 2027. So Jamaica will be having a lot of cricket. But this thing needs to be addressed. The timely payment of pitch doctors and grounds people needs to be addressed. They need to be treated in a dignified way. And if you treat them in a dignified way, then Jamaica and Barbados and St. Lucia used to have the best pitches in the Caribbean. Because when you come to Jamaica, Barbados, and St. Lucia, you have bouncy wickets like you get in England. And that is absent in our cricket these days. I want to side with Mr. Butcher Jr. because the pitch here at Sabina Park is terrible, and I believe it's not reflecting the true nature of a cricket pitch.
Yes, Basil. So, what are your views on this regional tournament performance? Despite the runs and the wickets, is it up to international? Well, not international. Is it a high standard?
Look, one of the things you have seen in Antigua, particularly, the pitches, at least if you got first dibs bowling on them, at ARG, for example, the fast bowlers had some help. So, like, for example, in this game against Windwards, Guyana had the best bowling conditions as a seam attack. And to their credit, the Guyana seam attack decimated Windward Islands. Similarly, the game at Sir Viv, look, I remember in the second inning, Paul and Smith, before you could say knife, the top 4 of Windward Islands was back in the pavilion, including 2 test players. And I have to give big credit to Ambrose, because both Paul and Smith bowled some balls at Ambrose. I don't know how he was still there at the wicket. Either if he didn't get bowled on, he barely get the inside edge, or the ball barely missed the outside edge. And he weathered the storm and went on to make a century, almost half the runs of what Windwards made in the second inning. So that century by Ambrose, from a perspective of the pressure that was put on him, sorry about that. The pressure that was put on him, that he could weather the storm. That those are the kind of things you want to see batters do in the regional tournaments in difficult conditions. The game today at this last round, the pitch there at Sir Viv, it obviously was not a really good pitch, because I remember the first morning I saw balls rolling and then saw balls jumping. I mean, the first day. And Sir Courtney, who was part of the Leeward Islands setup, stated that when he arrived at the ground and he inspected the pitch, he had concerns before the game even started, because he said it looked like a pitch that was not prepared. They just marked out the lines. And his concerns came to fruition. But again, it was really bowler friendly, and our batters struggled in conditions that were really dicey there. And those are the concerns I have from a batting perspective of our batters in in the tournament thus far. That whenever the conditions, the ball seem in the wrong or stuff like that, they really, really struggle for the most part. And I want to see an improvement in that, because when they get up to the next level, those bowlers going to be more accurate and express and more skillful. That what they would be getting away with at this level, they won't be getting away when they face bowlers at the next level.
And those 40s and 50s would be 10s and 20s.
Yes, or even less.
Yeah.
Butch, are you seeing a different Smith this year? Is he fitter?
I wouldn't know about fitter. I don't know about the fitter. I have said this about Neil Smith. That guy has wicket-taking deliveries that he can out a set batter on any kind of condition. In any condition. Flat, docile, and so on. I think more than any of our fast bowlers, from the test bowlers all the way down, he has that skill that none of them have. But his problem has been staying on the park and his conditioning, right? This was a guy, if you remember, Reds, I think it was
4 years ago.
The Sri Lankan series and the South African series following that. It's one of those two, was back-to-back series. He was
in the frame.
He was in the frame. West Indies setup, right? They didn't send him home. They kept him in the setup there, probably bowling in the nets and that kind of stuff, that he was on the cusp. But then his conditioning fell apart. His condition just went down.
And he gets injured too easily because, as you said, his conditioning is not what it should be. But today, in this match, not today alone, he looked very fit and he ran in and bowled.
Yes.
And I was very impressed with his batsmanship. That surprised me.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I would say about him from a bowling perspective, I mean, just from a technical bowling perspective, I think he could bowl quicker if that run-up is better exploited, because I think he doesn't put the kind of effort in his run-up. He more ambles up to the crease rather than really using some momentum from his run-up. I think that would even get him more pace. But a guy like him possessing that wicket-taking quality, Reddy, I will go back to a match. It was in 2024 against Barbados. I think it was in Antigua, if I'm not mistaken. And Barbados was chasing. That was a game that Roach and Jason Holder played. And Barbados was chasing and Jason was batting well. Jason had about 80-something. Really batting well. Smith came back on and produced that delivery I was talking about and dismissed Jason, and the rest was history for the game, right? Jason was well set on a flat Barbados and pitch there in Antigua.
That was at the Coolidge cricket ground.
Right. He produced a delivery that Jason had no answer for. And that's the skill this guy has. And I would say this further. He's a guy, in my view, should have been going to England every summer to play cricket, to continue to hone his skills, right? And the conditioning aspect would have been up, because Reds, the demands of being a professional, when you go to England, you can't lollygag. You got to come up and do, and that discipline, I think, would have got into him, that it would have taken him to the West Indies team. I hope, he's almost 30 years old, that he really takes his conditioning serious. And hopefully this summer, if he don't get into the West Indies setup or anything, that he could find himself in England where he could play real cricket rather than come here to New York where he hanging out with his friends and enjoying himself.
And Kaieteur, he got back into the Ghana side. I remember in that series, that same spell with Smith and Thorne. Thorne bowled a lot of overs and bowled fast. And
bowled really quick.
And the Roberts is a big fan of Thorne. And
Oh yes.
how do you see Torrance' progression?
Look, so Randy saw Torn for the first time when he went to Borby several years ago, right, under the auspices of Foster. Him and Roland Butcher went up there. Unfortunately, rain fell a lot, but he saw a little bit. I called him and I asked him what is his impressions of Torn, and he said to me, only Torn will stop himself, right? So here you got Randy, one of our great fast bowlers, have been so high on this young man. He's been very high on him. I've been begging, to full disclosure, I've been begging Torn to stay in contact with Randy as a guy who can be almost like a mentor, because there are a lot of things he could help him in his development, particularly mentally and other things as a fast bowler. And I'm happy to say Torn will be going to Australia in June under the auspices of Carl Hooper, and he'll be playing club cricket in Australia. And you know club cricket in Australia is pretty much on the level with our first class cricket. And it's hard cricket.
Than our first class cricket.
Yes, and it's hard cricket. So he's going to get some great exposure there in Australia. I look forward to seeing a Torn that returns from Australia, because he is one of the guys we got in the region that is genuine pace when he's ready. He's the real article, you know, and we need some more of those to back up the Josephs and etc. Because look at Alzari, for example, who got injured, and if Torn was up to scratch, Torn could have been the next guy in line, you know, to replace, and so we would not have been losing a guy with serious. We would have lose a guy with serious pace, but the next one coming in would have have that pace.
Well, I want to say good evening to Sir Carl Hooper. Great initiative to take Torn there. Well, everybody knows that Sir Carl Hooper is my favorite batter. Rex, yes, what would you want to say?
Well, we've been talking about the other teams. We haven't quite looked at the Windward's batting. They have a couple of test players in their lineup. We haven't given any thought to Trinidad batting, because you've seen Django getting a big 100. Maybe we need to double. Maybe we need to do justice to how they have been performing. Atenez, young
Auguste batted very well.
Ogis has been the pick of their batters. Through 200s, should have got 100 in both of these games.
And should have got 100 today when he made 91.
That's what I'm saying. But 95.
Moti really bowled well. And if you notice, Moti is bowling back of the arm now.
Yes. But I'm saying that both times he got out to what you would call impetuous shots. I must commend, as I said earlier, Ambros's 100 in the second inning against Guyana. I thought he made 100 in difficult conditions. Yeah. I watched the game with Django and Hines each making Django making the double and Hines making 100. I like that because the two of them came together, put their head down, and batted, right? I like that. Those performances was pretty good. Goldie is the name, the Trinidadian batsman. Gotta give him credit. Yes, he got hit in his head, had to retire hurt, came back out and made a 50 against Leewards in this game. So a guy showed guts there. Mr. Louis, gotta give Louis credit because Seals was rampaging on a pitch that was flying.
You're talking about Mikel.
Mikel made 72 or 73. So those are some of the credible performances I've seen. I like the 70. Well, he's made half centuries in both games. Savory.
Yeah.
But the thing I like Mr. Savory, you can't get to 72 set on a flat pitch and get bowled down the way he got bowled down, because it's saying to me your defense is not where it should be. If you want to go to the next level, can't get him bowled out like that. It's similarly like well today Junior could say talk about the bowl down that Brathwaite Salmon bowled a beauty to him today to get him to bowl him down for 176. He was looking for the off break and he got the arm ball.
Yeah, Junior.
Yeah, with his experience and the amount of cricket that he had, but such is the wonderful game of cricket on any given day. No matter the type of batter that you are, you will get a ball with your name on it. But what I think Mr. Butcher Jr. is really saying is that our batters at this level, there are certain things that you don't expect from them.
Yep.
You want to see them coming up, getting in line with the ball. You want to see them defending their wicket in a competent way. You want to see them making proper cricket strokes. And it suffices to say that when West Indies is such a brand, and West Indies creates so many opportunities for so many other countries, you want to see our administration, whenever, in any given year, when our 4-day season is finished, you pick players from all the teams that participate. You speak to some league in England or in Australia or in Sri Lanka, and you have these guys go back and continue to be engaged. And I believe if we are able to do this, then we will be able to unearth more talent and more consistent.
And Junior, you're talking about
bowlers.
8-team tours.
No. He's talking like, for example, what Torn going to Australia.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because, Sean, let me just say, Junior, what you're saying, excellent point, and it's a good segue because Carl was on Mason's show last week, and Carl said he has the ability to get at least 12 guys to Australia with the contacts he has in Australia, right?
But gentlemen.
And Carl also stated, which is something Junior talking about now, when West Indies was last in Australia, he organized a meeting with Shallow and Bascom, with the director of cricket of South Australia, where he lives. And there was a pretty understanding or agreement that at least six of our young emerging players would go up to South Australia, train with the South Australia Sheffield Shield team, play in the warm-up matches, and then go after that go and play club cricket in Australia. The thing is still collecting dust on the table.
But gentlemen, what we're talking about did in fact happen before. There was about 5 West Indians, I think, including Ganga, who was part of 5 West Indians who had a spell in Australia, Butch. You can't remember that?
You've had guys over the years. I mean, even young Kevin Hodge as a youngster went to Australia because he was in the same academy with Joe Root. They were both youngsters at the time. They went to Australia. So, we, as Junior correctly said, because we don't have the system in the Caribbean at the moment, we got to explore how to get our young players into systems that could help to continue their development into international players that can be consistent. I say this, Reds, for example, when we had the COVID situation and we went to England, we negotiated with England. If I was there, one of the things I would have said to England, look, we saving y'all how much? £100 million coming here to play COVID. One of the things I would have wanted in exchange, a commitment from ECB that we can get at least half a dozen of our emerging players to be contracted every year to a second 11 county team.
Well, you're talking about something
for over 10-year period, because whatever little money England could have given us, in the long run, something like that would have paid off way more. And the other thing I would say about that, there is a ripple effect when you get our players to go into those environments. When they come home, they're going to bring with them those practice habits they develop and the professionalism to their club. Because I'll give you one clear example. Bowlers will know this. Whenever we was in the nets practicing at club, bowlers never used to get batting. But yet when we go in a match and we in a tough situation and bowlers come to bat, we screaming, hold, you got to hold for we, hold, right? And when those guys started going to England, one of the things in their clubs, they used to have the bowlers bat first in practice. So the bowlers, if you notice, Sean, you would know about this. All our bowlers from a Ghana perspective, because this is what we know most about, whenever they all went abroad to England and came back home, they were more competent batters than before they left.
Yes.
And one of the reasons was they were able to practice getting to bat in the thing. So when they came home in the clubs, they would say, they would institute that bowlers got to bat first and then everybody else bat after.
Back to the England tour under COVID, we really got nothing for saving international cricket.
Exactly.
And I wrote to the then president, and I said we should get at least from England in exchange for what we did. Because when we went, Pakistan went.
And then Australia.
Australia went. And England was able to save those £1 million.
Correct.
We should have had an A team coming here and then a West Indies A team going there in exchange. Anyhow, Sean, I have got another commitment at 8:30. I'm glad that Butcher is in good form. I'm glad that Junior is making some very good points. Maybe
and Red,
Junior got to start a trade union for the ground staff in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sean, I'll take my leave because I'm due at 8:30 on another show. And
thank you, Reds. Appreciate.
All right, Reds.
All right, Reds, and look out tomorrow for your story in Chronicle.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Good evening to all.
I would say Cricket West Indies could go back to England right now and say to them, look, man, y'all, we saved y'all all this money. We would like y'all to make a commitment. Maybe 10 of our youngsters, God, they got 18 counties. 10 of our youngsters every year for the next 10 years, second 11 county contract. Go back to them in retroactive. Because
all we got was a test match in Grenada, a third test. Good evening.
So, we want something
good evening, Reds. Nice to have you on the program.
Yeah, we want something that we can invest, that is an investment that is going to bear fruit down the line.
Yes. Junior, tell us a little bit about what's going on at the grassroots level in Jamaica, because I see you've gotten something like an academy.
Yes, absolutely. I have the West Indies Cricket Development Academy. We are a registered non-profit organization based here in Jamaica, and we exist for the less fortunate cricketers that truly can't afford but love the game and want to play the game. And we have successfully lobbied the international community, and they would have helped us out. And we have built 2 concrete pitch with fencing around it. It's 87% complete. We're once again looking for funding to be able to finish it. But as well, we have also returned the Denby School from out where we operate the academy within. We have returned them to the All Island School competition here in Jamaica. We played 6 games under 19 competition. We have lost all those 6 games. We have played already 4 games in rather 3 games in the under 16 competition.
So,
We
so there's
lost 2.
actually school cricket being played in Jamaica.
Yes.
Yes. We have successfully returned 3 schools to the competition: the Denby High School, Kempshill, and Central High School, because of our initiative. So we're doing what we can do for cricket, and in the summer we're planning on having a batting camp to teach our players the fundamentals of batting, the basics and the true fundamentals of batting, because we are seeing where our batters are not able to negate bowling. They're not able to score against spinners and against the fast bowlers. And for any program and for any cricket, you need to have batters. And this is what we want to do. So we're looking for funding to do that. I hope that nearer to the summer I can come back and speak more towards that. But at the grassroots level, this is what we are doing. Over 80 schools was playing cricket in Jamaica as it regards to school cricket. Now we only have 20 odd schools. And before my institution came on board, we only had 16. And since we came, we're doing what we are doing, encouraging other schools, investing in these schools, we are seeing the numbers begin to rise again. And with that, Jamaica cricket can rise and Caribbean cricket can grow.
And batting has been the problem, especially at youth level throughout the Caribbean, and that transcends into the higher level. And recently, Berbice, the defending champions, lost to Demerara, and only 3 half centuries were scored. Parmeshwar Ram, he looks like a very promising all-rounder. I figure he's a batting all-rounder, but some people tell me he's a bowling all-rounder. He bowls medium pace. He got some wickets, and he got the most runs. He comes from the West Demerara in Demerara, and this was a good tournament on the face of it, but it didn't produce the type of cricket that was required. The batters didn't look sound, the technique was bad, most of them. And this included Shamar Apple, who played for Demerara. And the final was played in Berbice at the Kanji ground. The first class match was played there ever. And so those are good initiatives. And they're going to pick the Guyana team now to play in the regional tournament from that. And I want to say that get some sponsors to provide lunch, get some sponsors to provide transportation, and hold at least 3 trial matches. In my days, when I played for Guyana, we had the inter-county, and then you had 5 trial matches. But the board now, it's really hard to say that when I played, they had more money than now. But that's what they're thinking. So get sponsors. You don't have to go into your coffers. Get sponsors to sponsor trial matches. And if those players who missed out in the inter-county, remember inter-county you want to win, Demerara, Berbice. And so these players batted like if this was trials, which it was.
And Sean, and this also for Junior. I don't know, Junior, you know about the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament. Every July is held in Barbados for 19 and unders. We're taking 2 teams, possibly from the US. We've been going there for the last 2 years since it's restarted. And because our youngsters are not getting enough cricket, right? That is an initiative that I feel all the territories should send a team of youngsters to come and participate in the tournament, because it only can bode well for these youngsters, because You got teams coming as far as from Australia to play in this tournament. You know, and it would be a great exposure for these youngsters playing in a tournament like that. We were hoping that this year, Cricket West Indies would have staggered their schedule, where it would have allowed those guys who were going to under 19 to be able to play in that tournament and then go off to under 19, which would be good for them, which they would be playing a decent level competition going into the under 19s. But it doesn't seem like that's the situation. But that would be the ideal, you know, and the more teams that could come from outside of Barbados, from around the region and even further beyond the region, that's an initiative we should encourage, to push more and so on.
I remember when Covent Garden Secondary became the first Guyana school to enter that competition, and since then every other tournament there's Guyanese presence. I remember Fatima College, where Brian Laura started. So long the tournament was going on that he played for Fatima College in the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament, and that's the first time Garfield Sobers noticed him.
Just before COVID, the tournament in 2019, Mark Harper was the coach for Queen's College. Queen's College took a team over there, and there were three other teams from Guyana there last year in the tournament. Sicharan and Randy Davis took up a team there, and then they had a guy from Linden. He takes a team there, and then there was another. I think it was University of Guyana. University of Guyana took a team up there also. So, you know.
So, Junior, there are school teams playing in the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament from Jamaica?
No. And
not yet.
Right. I would have spoken to the organizer over there the other day. And I like what you and Mr. Butcher is putting forth, and certainly come next year, I will be looking to enter a team there. But you know, the economic challenge here in Jamaica. So closer to that time, and come next year, I'll work together with you both, and we'll see what we can do, because really and truly, if we're going to revive cricket in the Caribbean, then we don't need to be doing things here and somebody else. We should look to come together and pull together and make it happen. So I take your suggestion, and it is one that is well received, and we'll work on it next year. Probably you and I are on a few shows a lot of times now, so I believe next year we'll get to meet together in that tournament. I appreciate the sentiment, my friend.
Yes, because Carlton, as you know, Carlton, we got the guy to send the flyer, and Carlton is supposed to pass it on to Issa, see if Issa, when the invitations come out to Issa, to see if they would want to send a team to this year's tournament. We don't know, but at least the effort is being made to engage Jamaica, because our youngsters from the US, they have a great time. It's a great time, and you know, one of the beautiful things about it, you get to travel the entire island of Barbados and play in all these different grounds. You get to experience the whole island, and the people in Barbados the hospitality is excellent.
Yes, very excellent. Barbados is my second favorite place in the world.
Yes, and you know, because we have to think outside the box and be very creative as West Indians if we're gonna bring our cricket back up to a place where we could be proud of our cricket again. And encouraging tournaments like the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament. I would like to have multiple tournaments like Sir Garfield Sobers tournament in different parts of the region, which would give our youngsters a chance to, because not everybody gets a chance to play on the 19 regional or represent their country, and you always got guys just on the cusp. Those guys would have an outlet in which they can play, so it could help to further their development.
Yes, let's go for another commercial break, and then when we come back, Junior will continue.
We touch everything. Tables, toys, countertops, door handles, sinks. Mighty Foam's all-purpose cleaner is my secret weapon. Easy and effective with no sticky residue. Mighty Foam all-purpose cleaner. Enjoy all of life's textures. It's here! Igloo Ice Cream Fruit Bars. 4 mouth-watering flavors. Mango, pineapple, strawberry, and soursop. A beautiful combination of real fruit and igloo ice cream. Go old school with fluty popsicle. Classic flavors and refreshing goodness. Available at Igloo outlets and all your favorite shops.
Finger licking good, yeah, yeah. Got we in the mood for sharing. Come and join the party at KFC. If I sing a sandwich, I take a bite. It's the best flavor, best vibes. Get a bucket with your friends, pass it to the left. And have the best time of your life. Finger licking good, yeah, yeah. Got we in the mood for sharing. Come and join the party at KFC, at KFC.
Attention seafood suppliers, Dave's, the largest purchaser of fresh fish from Guyana, is interested in buying from you. Dave's deeply cares about bolstering the local economy and is looking to begin business with an eager seller of fresh fish and agro products. Dave's needs a constant supply of snapper, butterfish, bangameri, bundari crab, sheriga crab, white belly shrimp, bon carilo, edo, saijambaji, and more. Contact Dave's West Indian Imports at 21 Middle Street, Vicelas, East Coast, Demerara. Telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. Dave's will purchase.
Now Milko has done it again. We've listened to you and now available nationwide. Another convenient size packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. It's here. The 5 kg or 11 pounds new packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. Now available at your nearest supermarket.
Milko, National Milling Company of Guyana.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Well, good evening and welcome to the final lap of the Sean Dever Sports Watch. Let's again thank our sponsors. Dave's West Indian Imports, KFC, Nomalco, Builders Lumberyard, Sterling Products Limited, and Survival Supermarket. Remember, Survival Supermarket now has another branch in Diamond, and they are back on their feet there, in addition to the one at Sheriff Street. And I want to say to the boxing fans, I know this is a cricket program, but this is the last chance I'm getting to promote this boxing card on Saturday. It's at the Pegasus Suite and it's called the Lion and the Bull card. Elton Dari comes up against 22-year-old Salim Kasim from Tanzania for the IBO Super Bantamweight World Title fight. And Kevin Alcock, the Olympian, he will match gloves with Dexter Marks for the national title, the national featherweight title. So boxing fans, you gotta wear suits, you gotta wear jackets, the girls gotta wear gongs. It's a elegant occasion at the Pegasus Suites, and that's on Saturday. It starts at 6 o'clock, the doors open. So you're invited to be there. You will hear eventually updated every day. There's an update. The boxing board is very good doing updates. They're promoting this thing very, very well. Can't say the same for the cricket. But back to cricket now. Yes, Junior, we're going to make a point.
Yes, absolutely. And it's to what Mr. Basil Butcher Jr. was alluding to. I was talking to a TV producer in St. Lucia today, and I was referencing to him that we have lost cricketers at the under 19 level consistently through scientific studies done a few years ago would have strengthened those spines. And we must come to the realization, and we must admit that in our cricket, selectors pick youngsters that parents are wealthy, and selectors go for players that are well connected, and players are not picked on merit. And there's a lot of cricketers out there in every Caribbean island that are truly good cricketers, but because they are not connected, they are not among the elite, then they don't get picked. And we must exist for these players that feel left behind, feel rejected, and feel left out. We must exist for them. We must give them an opportunity, and we must let them understand that we are here for them. And if we can create something for them and they perform, their performance will speak for them, and it will not be overlooked once they do it from a professional point of view. So tournaments like the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament and others, like they have in the Windward and Leeward Islands, I believe tournaments like these will help to bridge these gaps that we have in our cricket these days in West Indies cricket, and it will start to produce better players for us. Because what one have to understand, Shamar Joseph there in Guyana, he never came through what the Guyanese have running now, but no doubt he's a wonderful talent. And so we have to realize and understand that some of the time the way the systems work here in the Caribbean, for more time than not, it's not giving us the cricketers that we truly have here in the Caribbean. We have some wonderful cricketers, but they are not being allowed to come through because our cricket and our system is too lean to those that are well connected and littered with money.
Yeah, I want to say good night to Lyndon Fraser. He brings on the 19 teams frequently to Guyana. And if you could find a group of players, from youth players, I could help you get accommodation for him, for your team in Guyana, staying at either you could correspond with the Guyana board, they've got a hostel. If not, there are lots of cheap hotels that you could go to, and I'll promote it. So that's another avenue. If you got Jamaican teams, bring them to tour Guyana to play clubs.
Absolutely.
I'll help you organize the clubs.
Yes.
And just to add to that, back in the days when Sugar Estate cricket was really on, you would have the Jamaica, because I played cricket in New York with a team with a bunch of guys from Clarendon, and there were several of them worked at the Sugar Estate.
Yeah, that is where I am from.
Okay, I
yeah.
know a lot of guys from Clarendon, and
Yeah, man.
and them guys told me that they were saying, "Yeah, man, Butch, I went to Berbice. I went to play in Berbice." So the Jamaica Sugar Estate team came to Guyana and toured, playing against the various Sugar Estate teams in Guyana. And as you know, Sean, a lot of top Guyana players played for Sugar Estates. So it was good cricket. All of those little, those kind of bilateral tours and so on.
Give the players exposure and experience.
That was part of the landscape of West Indies cricket are no longer there. And those are a lot of those things, similar things, if you can revive them, those things played a really key role in the development of our players.
Well, when I first came to Jamaica as an under-19 player in 1987, I think, I know, we got the chance to play at all those different grounds, including Sabina Park, because it was a youth tournament, and we stayed at the university campus. So that wasn't like a big fancy hotel. Now the players are staying at hotels.
Yes.
And this is the time when the board says they don't have funding.
Exactly.
Well, my players, if we come to Guyana, or we come to Barbados or any other island for that matter, any viewers or anyone that is watching and would love to invite us, we're not bothering too much about hotel. If you have a boarding school, whatever it be, we would appreciate. We just want to come and tour and play some good cricket and give our youngsters some match time and experience, because only that will make them a better cricketers and will help to make West Indies cricket what it is. Basil and Sean, too many fussy peoples these days. I don't run my academy. I run my academy and understanding our limitation and working within those limitations.
Yeah, I mean, once the place is a clean, safe place, that's what you need. Because as a youngster, I know when I played school cricket, we stayed in a house. The whole team stayed in a house. Some of we sleeping on the floor and all of that kind of stuff, and we loved it. You know what I mean? So I concur with you on that, man. You know, these guys gotta learn. They gotta come through the ranks.
Yeah.
You want to stay in hotel, you gotta turn a big player.
Yeah, man. Start at the grass and then you go to the top.
And the good thing about that is the under-19 tournament used to be played during the summer vacation. So all the schools, the universities, except those who wanted to stay, were closed.
Yes.
And I had tremendous experiences myself and Glenn Robinson. I wouldn't tell you on the air about those things. With the female campus, there were some girls there. And we did Bible studies all night. So those are good initiatives to get the players. And another thing, a youngster don't want to play every year in Trinidad. We used to go to each country every year.
Yes,
so you get
like
to
it used to
see,
be.
Yeah.
Like it used to be.
And any youngster would want to compare himself with the regional opposition to see how good he is. Because if you play in Guyana all the time, you're bowling good or you're batting good, you want to test yourself. So if you don't make the under-19 team, well, I see they had under 15, under 17 now, and this year they're not doing that anymore. When I played, it was only under 19, so I made the under 19 at 16. But those are things that are not, reinventing the wheel. They were there before.
Exactly, and just to add to that, in terms of these tournaments, and talking about you broke. I think these are the times where the governments of the different territories could get involved in helping to defray the cost of the national team, because that team is representing the country.
Well,
right?
Not
They
butting
should help
into you.
defray the
Guyana
cost.
is doing that. The Guyana government, through the Minister of Sports and the National Culture,
Okay,
they're funding the teams to
yes,
go outside.
Because so the West Indies board don't have to take on that responsibility. Those are some of the measures where they're talking about their financial status, which I listened today. I was on a show prior to coming on here, and they're in West Indies cricket is West Indies in serious financial difficulty, right? And these are some of the ways in which you defray those costs that West Indies board has been paying, because in the old days, the government paid for the teams to travel abroad. It was not West Indies Cricket Board paying for the youth teams to travel across.
It was the regional boards. The regional boards.
It was either some of the money coming from sponsor, which was either, first it was British and Tobacco Company, and then it was Benson and Hedges, and then it became Northern and so on. So the board wasn't taking on those costs, but over years, it because of whatever reasons, everything fell on the West Indies Cricket Board to be paying all this money where they shouldn't be.
All right, Junior, you got to be fast like Usain Bolt. We got 15 seconds left on the program.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Sean and Mr. Pereira and Mr. Basil Butcher Jr. and all your viewers for allowing me to express myself in regards to youth cricket and Jamaica and West Indies cricket. It was an honor and a pleasure to be able to sit with you all and contribute in such a manner.
And this program is shown on YouTube. Well, it's on the local radio and it's on Kaieteur News Radio Facebook page, but it's on YouTube also, so you can go back, type in Sean Dever Sports Watch, and the whole world could see. That's how I get my sponsors. They can see my sponsors over and over again, even the program is not going on.
Yeah, I was saying that's right. And again, thank you, Sean. Good to see you again, Junior. And,
myself, my friend.
Yes. And West Indies cricket needs to, we got to be creative and we got to put the right people in the positions, because as right now we got too many square pegs in round holes.
So that's all we have time for. On behalf of Reds, on behalf of Junior, on behalf of Basil, and on behalf of my technical man, I'm Sean Dever saying, if you can be good, then be careful.
All right.
Cleaning power like no other. Mighty Foam dishwashing liquid cuts through grease and grime every time. Lemon zest, green apple, citrus burst, and wild berry. 4 great fragrances specially formulated with super cleaning, grease-fighting power. Mighty Foam dishwashing liquid works hard to get your dishes spotless and is gentle on your hands. Available nationwide.
Sugar-free ice cream. Sugar-free ice cream.
Impossible that you're singing about ice cream without added sugar right now. I mean, how's that going to taste?
It's the best, most delicious I've ever tasted. The premium French vanilla flavor is so rich and velvety. Plus, my gym instructor approves. It's great for my weight loss.
So it's really delicious? Like you aren't kidding me? The children! No added sugar could be healthier for them. And Grandpa Glenn, with his diabetic condition. You mean he could finally enjoy desserts after all these years? I have to go. I have to get this.
Grab Igloo's sugar-free ice cream before she does.
Finger licking good, yeah. Got me in the mood for sharing. Come and join the party at KFC. Get I take a bite. It's the best flavor, best vibes. Get a bucket with your friends, pass it to the left. And have the best time of your life. Finger licking good, yeah, yeah. Got me in the mood for sharing. Come and join the party at KFC, at KFC.
Dave's West Indian Imports is a wholesaler of all types of seafood with their own processing plant. Dave supplies supermarkets, restaurants, hotels, and bars. Place your orders now on telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. With fresh seafood daily, Dave's offers custom cuts of your choice: snapper, trout, banger, gillback, shrimp, crab, and more. Order today. Dave's, Guyana's largest exporter to the USA.